So the first thing is that, as I explained yesterday, that polynomial means that mathematical expression with all non-negative and non-fractional components, exponents. So today I will discuss how we can divide a polynomial with the other polynomials. And after learning the process of the polynomials, then we are able to define the terms factor as well as remainder. So first of all, I have to discuss the division of the polynomials. So before starting this topic, I will discuss the basic knowledge. Already you have in previous classes, class 8, 9 or pre-O levels, that whenever we have to divide a given number by the second number, suppose, because I'm giving you the basic knowledge, 15 divided by 6. That is the basic knowledge. So that number which we divides this number, that number is called dividend or dividend. That number is called dividend or dividend. The second number which we use for division process, that is called divisor. In lower classes, in previous classes, we have to start this one by this method, that is called sign of division, and we start by this one. 15, the dividend you have to write within the sign of division, and the divisor you have to write over here. Then you will multiply 6 by which number? The answer must be 15 or less than 15. But in the table of 6, there is no 15. So you have to multiply by this 2. You will get 6 2s are 12. Then always you have to subtract 15 minus 12. That becomes 3. Now this term, this one in mathematics, that term is called in the division process, that is called quotient of division. That is called quotient of division. And this expression, this one, that is left behind in the process of the division, that is called a remainder. So whenever you have to start the process of division, then you have 4 quantities. The first quantity is called dividend. The first quantity is called dividend. The second quantity is called divisor. The third quantity is called quotient. And the last quantity is called remainder. So whenever you have the process of division, you must have these 4 quantities. So whenever we are going to divide the polynomials, we must have these 4 things. We must be familiar with the dividend. We must be familiar with the divisor. We must be familiar with the quotient as well as remainder. Now, this is a basic concept. But the same concept you have to apply to the division of the polynomials. The same process you have to apply the division of the polynomials. Okay? Now, my first concept is, there are 2 methods to division. The first method is called long division method. Long division method. Because this is the method, you have to follow different steps. So first of all, I have to write the steps of this one. The first step is analyze dividend and divisors. You have to analyze which term is dividend and which term is divisor. So you have to decide which term is dividend and which term is divisor. write dividend and divisor. Dividend and divisor into descending order. That is very important. Into descending order. Write within the sign up. Write within sign up. The fourth step is find first term of quotient, first term of quotient by dividing first term of dividend and first term of divisor. May be possible right now these steps are not clear to you, but when I apply these steps, then you are able to apply and you are able to solve the question, or you can understand the concept of the division of the polynomials. Multiply the first term of quotient, multiply the first term of quotient first term of quotient with whole divisor. Write like terms under the like terms. Like terms under the like terms. The sixth one is subtract by changing sign of second term. By changing sign of second term. And the last step is that is seventh step. Repeat all steps again. So these 7 steps you have to follow for the long division method. So what will you do over here? So question in the statement will be just like this one. Question will be just like this one. Question, find quotient and remainder. When x square plus 4x cube minus 2x plus 1 is divided by x plus 2. I will read the steps, then follow the steps, and then I will move forward. Start with the help of this one, the red marker. First step is analyze divisor and dividend. Whenever you have the statement of the question, the expression after the word divided by, that expression, that is called divisor. And the first term, that is called dividend. So we analyze this one. The first one is divisor and the second one is dividend. After analyzing this one, you have to start the process of division just like this one. That is called the sign of division. That is called the sign of division. Now, we have to write the terms within this one. First of all, the first step is clear. We have to find dividend and divisor. So I noted this one. The first term is called dividend. The second term is called divisor. Now you have to write the dividend with the sign of division. And for the sign of division, you have to write in descending order. So in dividend, what is the first term with the highest power? That is 4x cubed. The second term with the square, that is plus x squared. The third term is with this one, that is x plus 2x. And the last term is plus 1. Now you have to divide by divisor, and divisor you have to write as it is with the help of descending order. So you have to write divisor over here, x plus 2. So that the second step is write dividend and divisor into descending order with the sign of division. So first three steps I have solved. The first one, the second one, the third. Now you have to find the first term of the quotient by dividing the first term of the dividend and first term of divisor. So by changing the sign, the color, that is called first term of dividend. And that is called the first term of divisor. So you have to move over here. First term of dividend divided by, this sign stands for the divided by the first term of divisor. You will get answer 4x squared. So over here, you have to write. What you have to write? 4x squared. At the later stage, you make it short. I will ask, what is the term when you multiply by this x? The answer is 4x cubed. And then you will say the 4x squared. So this step is find first term of quotient. How? By dividing the first term of dividend and first term of divisor. So not complete. The first term of divisor. Now we have this one. The next step is multiply the first term of quotient with the whole divisor. So in the rough stage, you have to multiply. That is called the first term of divisor. 4x squared multiply by the whole divisor. The whole divisor is x plus 2. When you will multiply, open this bracket, 4x squared multiplied by x becomes 4x cubed. Plus 4 2s are 8x squared. Now you have to write the terms of this product under the like term. What's the meaning of the like terms? The term of the cube you have to write under the terms of the cube. The term of the cube is, what is the term of the cube is? This one. You have to write over here under the like terms, 4x cubed. The second term is, we have 8x squared plus 8x squared. You have to write under the x squared. That is the term. Now you have to subtract. How you will subtract? By changing the signs of the second term. Just read the first the step required. write like terms under the like terms. Like term means two terms are said to be like terms if they have the same variable and same power. In common language, I will say that the term of x squared, you have to write the term of x squared. The term of x cubed, you have to write under the terms of x cubed. The term of x, you have to write under the term of x. And the constant terms, you have to write under the constant term. Change the sign. So you have to change the sign. What are the changing the sign? That plus becomes minus. Plus becomes minus. First term will always cancel out with the same coefficients, opposite signs. So the first term always cancel out. That is this one. Plus x square minus 8x square, that becomes minus 7x square. Remember that you have to consider new signs of the second term. Now, all the terms which are left behind in the dividend, you have to shift as over here. So all the terms you have to shift over here. Minus 7x square minus 2x plus 1. Now what will you do? Now I write the step, repeat all steps again. This term, now this term, which term? This term, I am highlighting this term, that has become the dividend of this stage. That has become the dividend. So this term is called dividend, this one. That term is called dividend. Divisor will remain as it is. That is a divisor x plus 2. Now again repeat the steps. I will make it short. What will you do? That is the first term. When you multiply by which term x, you will get the answer minus 7x square. Or move over here on the right side. Minus 7x square divided by simple x, you will get minus 7x. So you have to write minus 7x over here. Now repeat the step. That is called the second term of the quotient. So second term you have to multiply with the whole divisor. So minus 7x multiplied by x plus 2. I will get minus 7x square and minus 14x. Again, you have to write like terms under the like terms. So the terms of x square you have to write under the terms of x square. I will make it short, minus 7x square. And the term of minus 14x, you have to write as it is. Again, you have to use the subtraction process. What's the meaning of the subtraction process? This means you have to change the sign of the second term. You have to change the sign of the second term. What is the sign of this 7x square is? Minus, it becomes plus. What is the sign of the 14x is? Minus, it becomes plus. The first term, the minus 7x square and plus 7x square always will cancel out. Now you have minus 2x and plus 14x. Minus 2x plus 14x, it becomes 12x. If I'm not wrong, plus 1 over here. Now, that expression, this one, the last one, that has become the dividend, and the divisor will remain as it is. Now, the third one is 12x is the first term of the dividend, and the first term of the divisor is x. So after cancellation, I will get x. You have to write x. There is no sign. The sign means the plus. So you have to write plus x. That x will multiply by x plus 2. So x will multiply by x plus 2. I will get, sorry, the number will be 12, not x. I'm very sorry. I have this one is, x is cancelled with this x. I will get, when this x is cancelled with the x, I will get 12. So the third term is not x. The third term is 12. I'm writing over here. So the next term is 12 over here. So 12 multiplied by x, I will get 12x. I have to change over here. So 12x multiplied by x, I will get 12x. And 12 multiplied by 20, 12 multiplied by 2 means 24. Like under the like terms, 12x plus 24. Again, you have to change the sign of second term. What are the sign of the second term is? Again, I'm writing over here. Change the sign of the second term by different signs. Oh, no, I'm selecting the black color. Plus becomes minus, plus become minus. First two terms always cancel out. 1 plus 1 minus 23. It becomes, sorry, plus 24 minus 24. It becomes minus 23. So what is the quotient of this question? Quotient means this term. That term 4x square minus 7x plus 12. So 4x square minus 7x plus 12. And what is the remainder of this term? Remainder of this term is simple minus 23. So that's the first question. I solved this one by long division method. That is the first question I solved by long division method. Remember that these steps will never ask in the examination. There is no need to write or memorize these steps. You have to understand the step so that when you apply these steps to get the correct answer. I will give you another example so that if the question or the steps which are not clear to you, that becomes easier. That is the first question. Now, my second question is I'm erasing the steps. Sorry, I'm erasing the question. Now I have to solve the second question. The same process, same step you have to apply. Okay, my next question is the same question. Find quotient and remainder. Find quotient and remainder when x cube minus 4x plus 20 is divided by x square plus 3x minus 5. Now, this question is a little bit different, but the steps you have to follow. Again, the word divided by, before this word, the expression is called dividend, and after this word, the expression is called divisor. So we have to analyze the first step. What the step is? So this expression is called dividend or dividend. And this expression is called x squared plus 3x minus 5. That is called divisor. Now you have to start the process of long division because two requirements are over here. So I will solve step by step. First one is I have to write the sign of division. So first is over here. Write the sign of division. I will write over here x cubed minus 4x plus 20 divided by x square plus 3x minus 5. Now I have to apply the same steps because the question is find the remainder and the quotient. So I will take the first term, which is the first term over here. The first term is x cubed. The first term of the divisor is x square. On the rough side, you have to divide x cubed by x square. And we know that according to the law of quotients, law of exponents, you have to subtract the powers. It becomes simple x. You have to write x over here. So you have to write x over here. I will get this one. The first term of quotient is this x. Now you have to multiply this x by the whole divisor. X multiplied by whole divisor is x square plus 3x minus 5. Apply the logics over here. Method of multiplication. X multiplied by x square becomes x cubed plus 3 multiplied by x and x multiplied by x 3x square and minus 5x. The next step is you have to write the like terms under the like terms. So the first term, this one, x cubed, you have to write the terms x cubed over under the x cubed. So that will be x cubed over here. Then you have to write 3x square. But in the dividend, there is no terms of x square. So you have to write plus 3x square at the end of this expression. Then you have to write minus 5x over here. So that's very important. If some term is missing, some term is not written over here, then you have to put at the end of this. Change the sign of second term. Change the sign of second term. So what the sign of x cube is, that is plus, it becomes minus. What the sign of 5x is, minus, it becomes plus. What the sign of x square is, plus, it becomes minus. First term always cancel out. So the first term will be cancelled out. Now what's the answer of? Now remember that you have to write the highest power of x at the first place. Highest power of x, you have to write at the first place. So this term, because that is the term of x square, you have to write in the first place minus 3x square. You have to consider new sign. What's the answer of minus 4x and plus 5x? The answer is plus x. And plus 20, all the terms over dividend, you have to write as it is. Again, the next step is you have to find the second term of the quotient. What will you do? You will take minus 3x square and you have to divide by x square. After cancellation, I will get the minus 3. So you have to write minus 3 over here. The second term with the sign, you have to multiply by this whole divisor. So minus 3 multiply by x square plus 3x minus 5. I will get minus 3x square minus 9x, if I'm not wrong, plus 15, the simple terms. So write the terms over here, minus 3x square. Then you have minus 9x over here. Then you have plus 15 over here. Divided by, so you have to change, you have to subtract. And subtraction is only possible when you have to change the sign of the second term. So minus becomes plus, minus becomes plus, and plus becomes minus. First term will always be cancelled out. What's the answer of x plus 9x? That becomes 10x. What's the answer of plus 20 and minus 15? That becomes 5. So you have to write what's the quotient, what's the remainder. After doing so many steps, so the quotient is x minus 3. And the remainder is, in this case, 10x plus 5. That's the concept. That is called the long division method. Now, I will apply the different concept of the long division method to find the information, to derive the information from here. The first one is, now I will discuss the application of long division method. I will clear all my drawing over here. The first application. application of long division of polynomials. Division of polynomials. So what are the applications of the long division method over here? The first application is, it is used to determine that given expression, given polynomial, is a factor or not. Before starting this one, I will discuss 2-3 things. Basic concept of factors or basic knowledge of the factor. A divisor is said to be a factor of dividend if remainder is 0. That's the basic definition of factor. I will give you 2 different examples. The first one is, check 9 is a factor of 432. Nine is the factor of 432. The first part is. The second part is, 9 is a factor of, you have to check, 921. So both the question I will solve step by step. First one is, the first part with the help of the red marker. So a divisor is said to be a factor of dividend if remainder is 0. So I have to check 9 is a factor or not. So 9 becomes the divisor. And 432 is the dividend. So you have to check it. 9 4s are 36. 13 minus 6 becomes 7. 2 over here, it becomes 72. And 9 8s are 72. So remainder is 0. So I will say that 9 is a factor of 432. No, I have to decide the second one is. The second part of this question is, whenever you have to make the concepts, please start from very basics. So 921. 9 ones are 9 over here. I will shift this 2 on this side, but 2 is less than this 9. I have to shift over here. And when we shift 2 terms from the dividend, so you have to put 0 over here. 9 2s are 18. Subtract, you will get 3. 3 is not equal to 0. So I will write over here, 9 is not a factor of 921. Because just you have to wait for 2 minutes. I will rejoin. That's the basic concept. No, I will discuss about the polynomials. Thank you, beta. Wait a 2 minutes.